coming in hot.
Brain Candy, episode 597. How's Sarah?
Woo! I am defrosting.
Oh my God. Frigid?
It's freaking freezing.
It's a big surprise for you?
No, I mean, this is the thing. I'm like comfortable with 30-degree weather. -9.
Yeah.
Little chilly.
Yeah.
Little bit chilly.
Yeah.
And the guy I'm dating loves, I mean, he's not wrong. I get it now, too. We have become, he has always been, and I have become a powder chaser.
Oh, boy.
So I am chasing after that fresh snow. And I was talking to my mom on my drive home from the mountains, and I was like, Mom, it was so funny. Like, when we were growing up, I remembered anytime we would go skiing, as soon as it would start to snow, you'd be like, nope, we're going in. It's too cold. It's too snowy. That is the opposite of what the people who really enjoy the sport do. They're like, oh, it's snowing. We got to get out there. We got to go. And so it's like days to test your gear, I guess, where I'm like, it's fucking -9 degrees.
Yeah.
I can't believe I've been out here for 4 hours. And I'm like trying not to complain.
You were outside in that for 4 hours?
Absolutely 100% correct.
I mean, I don't
Susie.
even understand what you're saying.
I barely understand what I'm saying either.
What about your face?
It's covered.
And I'm sorry,
I have
but
zero
I don't care if you
exposure.
Yeah, but even if you had 2 pairs of gloves on, is that how many you wear? 2?
Oh, yes.
Those fingers. It's going to be like that person whose finger fell off.
Yes.
The pretend person that doesn't
exist.
Yes.
Susie, did I say this on the podcast or
yes,
just to you?
You did.
Okay. Somebody out there has to like
somebody wrote to us and was like, that's not a thing. Yeah, for real.
Well, you know what? I will believe anything you tell me about the snow right now, because this past week has just been proof that Sarah don't know shit.
Yeah.
About living in the snow.
It's a rude awakening.
It's like, I don't even know what I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't tell you how many times I fucked up in the last week as far as snow preparation goes.
Yeah.
I bought the wrong size chains for my car.
Oh.
And you don't want to find that out when you need to put chains on your car.
I didn't even know there were different sizes, so you're better than me.
It was regular sedan or SUV truck.
Okay.
What category would you put a Jeep into?
SUV truck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the person at the store agreed with me. So it's not like come on, trying my best over here.
Yeah.
Then I did find out from, my windshield wiper thing. I did find out that you guys do. Which, by the way, thank you to all the people who totally validated me.
Yeah, they were mad.
In that.
Yeah.
They were like, yep, I feel you. That happens to me. And then somebody sent me a link for a wonderful, female-run auto body shop that's in, I want to say, some random place that it would take me a long time to get to.
I think
it might be close to you.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
Where do you think it was?
I don't know. For some reason, I had Arizona in my head, but...
Oh, I have Virginia in my head, so I don't know.
Not where we are. That's all.
Not where we are. But yeah, so thank you guys all for that. And I did learn that the reason that it may have split in the first place was that it was frozen.
Good God.
Stuff in there. So, okay.
This is why people from New York take a big dump on people from LA, because it's like...
We're idiots.
Well, you just don't have any kind of suffering...
No,
in that way.
There's no suffering.
Right.
None whatsoever.
Like an occasional earthquake, it's just not the same.
And then we just turn it into a block party.
Yeah,
That's what
right. So
yeah.
you don't know. You don't know. Now you do.
I don't know. So that was my big mistake. Then, I left my keys in the car, like my key fob in the car, because I'm like, I'm in the cabin in the woods. Like, who's going to come? I'll just leave this in here. I learned the lesson about what happens when you leave electronics in the cold.
What happens? I don't even know.
They don't work anymore.
It just is like, I quit?
It's like, nope, we're done.
Wow.
So there was some moisture, in my car or something. It's just like moisture gets on stuff and then it freezes and then it breaks I changed the battery. It wasn't the battery, my key fob. And so here I am now. It stuck in a driveway I can't get up with a car I can't start because my key fob won't
You know what's funny
work.
About you, though?
What?
Like, I think we can all agree that you...
Can't wait for this.
You
I'm so excited.
are kind of like either an agent of chaos or just like a magnet of chaos.
Yes, I might be an agent of chaos.
One or the other, like this. So what's fun is how no matter what, you're still surprised by the chaos.
I know, Susie. I'm. It's equal parts like surprised and also frustrated, like at myself. Like I don't want to be this person. I want so bad not to be this person, but it's like, of course. I mean, the guy I'm dating must think, like. He's so understanding. I keep saying like he keeps on saying like, well, you give me purpose. Like, you know how he's like, you know how guys live to like tow, you know, some pretty girl's car out of the ditch. He's like, this is what we live for. Are you kidding me? I love this shit. He's like, you're giving me purpose over here.
And there is a learning curve, I'm sure.
Yeah. And it's taken me a little while. And I keep telling him, I'm like, the good thing is, I promise I will only make these mistakes once.
That's true.
I'm never going to leave the key fob in the car. I'm never leaving any electronics in the car. I left my mask, my goggles in the car one day, and he was like, uh-oh. And he was right, because they fogged up the whole day long. It was awful. You can't leave any goggles. You can't leave anything in the car. Nothing can get cold. What the hell?
A lot of your problems are about this car. The
yes,
chains, the windshield wiper.
This stupid Jeep.
Yeah.
That everybody thinks. You look at and you're like, oh, that's sporty. That looks like sporty. It could definitely handle the mountains. The Jeep commercial definitely makes you think that. But see, Susie, this is what I've kind of realized. You know how there are those like fancy hiking shoes that like fancy companies come out, like Steve Madden hiking boots, and like they're like, oh, suede and da-da-da. Yeah. But you know, you're definitely not supposed to hike in those things. This is my Jeep.
Right. It's, what does they say? Form over function.
Yes, fashion over function over here. Mm-hmm. That is, I'm like, oh, I got a tow hitch. I can tow. I added a tow hitch onto my car for however much that cost me, and I didn't think I might get 4-wheel drive too. Oh, for Pete's sake, the things you learn. So now I know.
Now you know,
and I need to at least get some snow tires or some chains that fit.
Man,
or fucking something.
It's tough times.
It's tough times over here. And then I just keep on, like, going, oh, I'm going to go snowboarding today instead of go buy a new car.
I'm curious about, like, when spring hits in Denver. Is it the same as, you know, East Coast spring? Or does it take longer or what?
Oh, fuck, I have no idea.
Because, like, it's mid-March now, so what?
Oh, I don't. I want it. Don't talk about spring.
Wow. You do not want spring. That is insane.
I don't. I want more. I want at least 20 more days of riding.
Riding. She's saying riding, you guys. I don't know if I'm going to be okay.
Oh, my God. It's so funny. Yeah, my vocabulary has definitely changed a little bit. I'll say things like, yeah, I just want to get out there and get a couple turns in.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't even know what that is.
I didn't either until I, started doing it. I'm like, oh, I think that's what they mean.
I saw that you are soft launching your main squeeze on your close friend's Instagram.
I am soft launching my main squeeze on my close friend's Instagram.
I'm not familiar with the soft launch. Like what?
Me either.
Okay.
Which is why it was so funny to me.
What is the...
I wasn't even going to talk about this today, but this is like now my new favorite topic. Okay, I'm so glad we're talking about it. What is... So I saw this Instagram post that was like every girl soft launching her boyfriend on Instagram, and it was like this video or this like reel somebody made of like 2 ice cream cones, and then she'd be like, okay, yeah, now move a little left, a little more, until he's like so totally out of frame, but all you see is the hands.
He exists, soft launching but you
is
can't
like
see
he exists. Like here are some pictures of both of our shoes. Here's some pictures of both of us. Like, but here's some pictures of him, but you only see his left shoulder. I'm like cropping the photo to like.
What's the intention of the soft launch in general?
To like feel it out, like, like is this my boo thing? Am I committed in this? Really? We're like introducing somebody slowly.
Yeah,
I kind of like it. I'm into it.
Okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying.
And goggles and face masks are a great way to soft launch.
Does he have any say in the swiftness of the soft launch?
He's not. He's not on social media like that.
He doesn't give a crap.
Maybe he is. He's more like he doesn't give a crap about any of that.
Okay.
He's so like I call him my human Valium or human Ritalin because he chills me out and calms me down like instantly.
This could be good.
Susie, it's fantastic. He's a Kundalini yoga instructor, so it's like great. He's like amongst other things. So like, and works in IT. So I feel like there's some good balance there.
Okay.
And so he's like kind of calms me down. And like it's magic. It's like 10 minutes. I'll come in all hot, like from driving on, doing the 85-mile drive up the snowy mountain that I'm like gripping. My shoulders are like tense when I get there because I've been like gripping the wheel so tight because I'm so scared about going around turns.
She's
and everything.
literally white knuckling it.
Literally white knuckle it for sure. And then I come in, I'm like all hot because that's how I come into any situation.
Yep.
And then that I'm like a million miles a minute. And then he just like about 10 minutes. With him, 5 minutes, the moment where I just am like, oh.
He's like the personification of the wind down.
Totally. He's my human wind down. I think
great.
You're really, and he kind of has like Adam vibes with being like very just like calming presence.
Wow, that's going to come in handy.
Yeah, I think you're going to like him. So we'll see if the soft launch turns into a
hard launch.
Full on hard launch.
I'll tell you what else I like. And I need you guys to dive into this, okay? KiwiCo boxes. I cannot say
this
enough.
feels fun as an Easter thing.
Exactly.
Like in an Easter basket.
Exactly. So KiwiCo sends out boxes and they're age specific. So like Lincoln's at the Atlas level. And they give you these projects to do, or the kid can do them on their own. And like recently, Lincoln got a crate that had a Japanese windsock in it that was like one of those fish that they have often in Japanese culture. And you know how usually when kids make stuff, you're like, how quickly can I throw this away?
Yes.
Like how long do I have to keep this before it's in the trash? But these are actually really beautiful and fun. But they're meant to actually teach them, engineering, science, stuff like that. But like they don't know they're learning. They just think
that's the best thing.
Super fun. Yeah. So I just want people to get these as gifts for the child in their life, for their own child, whatever. It's fun to do with them. It's fun for them to do on their own. And they just encourage innovation and creativity. And I'm just all for it. I think they're great.
And isn't it fun when something like kids look forward to something arriving like each month and like, oh my gosh, it's coming. And then
mail?
Right? Exactly. And then like think about how excited we get about that. And then you add learning on top of that. So now you're getting them excited about something that's going to teach them.
This is totally Brainiac, like
yes,
perfect.
Brainiac approved.
Yeah, step into spring and celebrate the season of discovery with a KiwiCo subscription. Get 30% off your first month plus free shipping on any crate line with code BrainCandy at KiwiCo.com. That's 30% off your first month at KiwiCo.com, promo code BrainCandy. They're really, really high quality. You'll love them. Promise.
Yeah, I love them.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a bunch of fun facts for you today.
Okay.
So many cool things to talk about. We have to dive right in. I started watching. Did you see on Disney Plus the series with Will Smith called? I think it's called Welcome to Earth.
No, I haven't even heard of it.
Suze, neither had I. Highly recommend.
Okay.
It is really good. So it starts off with Will Smith talking about how, like, even though he's played all these, like, action figures, he's never slept in a tent. He's never, he's scared of swimming. Like, he's never swam in a river or a lake. Like, all these things he's never done. And so he wanted to explore the world with people who were just interesting people and teach, like, how to look at things in a different way.
So
the very first step, it's so good. It is brain candy, like, through and through.
Okay.
Because it's funny, because it's Will Smith, and it's got, like, some funny parts in it, because, Will Smith is Will Smith.
So you're laughing and learning.
Yeah. It's
right.
like, hello.
Yeah.
Our motto. Okay. So the first episode is all, and it's stuff. There were so many times when I watched it where I was like, are you kidding me? What? Like, what? There are so many things that, like, blew my mind that I didn't even know about. So it starts off, the very first episode is all about sound. And it's about some of the loudest sounds that we have on the planet. And at first, I'm like, how are they connecting this to sound? So it starts off with Will Smith is exploring a volcano in the South Pacific. And, he's really nervous because he's going to the edge of a freaking volcano. He's going to, rappel into a volcano. And so they're talking about how volcanoes, yes, emit the sound that we hear of the explosion and everything like that. But only recently have we discovered what they call infrasound, which is low-frequency sounds below 20 hertz that fall below the hearing range of humans. But scientific instruments, of course, can measure them. But this was one of the coolest parts. So along with them traveling, so it's one seismologist and volcano expert, volcanologist, that's their name, which is already super cool.
Yeah, right.
Volcanologist, that sounds awesome. Traveling along with them was this guy named Eric Weinmeier, I think his last name is. Weinmeier, who has climbed the highest peaks on every continent and done it all while blind.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's there because what he experiences as being somebody without sight is, other people can't hear that infrasound, he can feel it.
That's wild. For real, in his body?
Yes! And he knows, he can feel it, and it's almost like a form of echolocation. It's kind of similar to that, where he's learned how to feel okay, so it's so freaking cool. So he talks about how most of us, when we see movement, it lights up our visual cortex in our brain. When he feels movement, it lights up his visual cortex in his brain. So he can paint a visual image of what's going on around him by feeling
That is
sound.
so weird that it lights up the visual part of his brain.
Yes! The whole thing I'm watching, this is so cool. And I'm not sure if this is this happens for people who were born without sight.
Yeah.
But he had a degenerative eye disease that where it was so sad. He said, as a child, I went through elementary school and junior high, and my world just started getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
I can't.
And he
even
said he
imagine.
went through, right, Suze? And he went through this period of depression where he thought he was going to fall behind and wasn't going to be able to,
well, of course,
keep up with everybody. But instead, he went on to do some of the most awesome things. He founded this organization called No Barriers, where they take injured veterans climbing and climb with blind kids and people with disabilities, and even people in wheelchairs.
That's incredible.
Yep, he just recently climbed a 20,000-foot peak with some veterans, and he's done it, he just takes people on all these amazing adventures, and people who, Will Smith is sitting there going, oh my God, I'm so scared, and the blind guy's going, don't worry, we got this.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
He said something funny, it was I can almost guarantee we won't die. Will's that seems like an honest, statement there.
Right, well, that's all you can really do is, anything could cause death.
Right.
So all you can do is be
right. That's exactly. Oh my God, it's funny you say that because I was reading an interview that he did with another magazine, talking about his experience with Will Smith and everything, and he was saying that the people were asking him, man, aren't you afraid to do all these things blind? And he goes, well, you can sit on your couch for 10 years just doing nothing, and you might die of a heart attack.
Yeah.
So why not go out and do this?
Yeah.
Oh my God, is that
really
not
cool.
inspiring or what? So the whole episode was all about infrared sound or infrasound.
Infrasound, yeah.
Infrasound, and this that now that we've developed the instruments to read it, I love learning about things that have always existed, but we haven't had the tools to measure. Because doesn't that make you kind of think there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we don't have tools to measure?
For sure.
All that psychic stuff. What do you call it? What did you call me? Vibrational psychic?
Vibrational psychic, yes.
Yes. I feel like we just don't have the tools.
And
right?
Listen, that's how I feel about all sorts of things. Religion, what happens after you die. What do I know?
Oh, I have something to talk to you about that later, too. Get ready.
Gosh, cliffhanger.
Okay, so, yeah, cliffhanger, exactly. So there's just, this got me diving into this whole world of infrared, or I keep calling it that, infrasound, and there's a doctoral student named Alicia Hovatek Ellis who noticed that the frequency of tremors in earthquakes, harmonic tremors, the sound that earthquakes make, gradually grow higher before a volcanic eruption.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that cool?
Right, because then
that
you
we
can
notice
predict it.
if it gets higher and higher in frequency, or like the harmonic tremor frequency grows higher and higher, that she was able to create a system for measuring when volcanoes were going to erupt because of these infrasounds.
That's really cool.
Isn't that cool? We also use it in avalanche detection because avalanches emit an infrasound, and that helps with monitoring them to make sure like we can tell people to get out of the area. Then
Is it like the snow shifting that they hear or something else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's so much cool stuff. In the sound one, they go into these caves where it's totally silent. That you have to go like something crazy. And if you watched our documentary pick, The Rescue, you will extra love this because you see it's more like cave explorers, and you know those kind of people.
Yes.
And it's just like they're going down to these deep caves where no sound exists, and then you hear what people like, how people react in naturally silent places, which is different than like a sound deprivation chamber, because we're going into that knowing like we can just take off the headphones and hear the rest of the world. There's something that it does to your brain.
Yeah.
Where your brain almost wants to fill in the empty space.
There's this book on my reading list called 0 Decibels, and it's exploring like what it really means to be in silence and how like not pleasant it is.
Right.
Because then you can hear your heartbeat, you can hear the blood in your body moving, and like you can only handle it for like 2 seconds, and then you got to get out.
Yes, that's what they said.
Yeah.
They were like, you can't, because it's the heartbeat and your blood pumping that you can't escape from.
Yeah, like no matter what.
That is so crazy to me.
It's unsettling.
It is unsettling to think about a world where all that sound goes away, and what...
Like, it's unnatural.
We can't even imagine it.
Mm-hmm.
And, and then, so even if we go to these places where no sound, we can't hear any sound with the human ear, when they set up these highly, highly sensitive devices that measure sound, they do hear a noise. And this is one part that blew my mind. The noise that we hear is a sound of mountains moving because of the gravitational pull of the moon.
Whoa. Like they're being pulled?
Yes.
Oh, no.
That the earth is stretching and moving because in the same way that the tides rise and fall with the moon.
Yeah.
The earth expands and contracts as well.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But we can't hear it or measure it because it's so super tiny.
And I don't want
but when
to.
you go into these silent places, they play the sound. Oh, it gives me goosebumps.
Oh, they did?
Yes, and you could hear the sound of...
Was it like
and
moaning?
They have like a beautiful name for it too. They called it like... There's a really cool name for what they called this type of... It was beautiful. Oh, you're going to have to watch it. And then I can't remember what it was. But it was such a good documentary. Two thumbs.
So glad. And that sounds family friendly, right?
Oh, super family friendly.
I think Lincoln would like that.
This is, all kids are going to love this, and it'll blow. And then the next one is on colors.
Yeah, we got to watch that. That's awesome.
You have to.
I'm so glad. I wonder why I didn't hear about it.
I don't know.
Come
I
on,
feel
Disney.
like it doesn't... Even just reading the description doesn't do it justice because there's so many... and it was one of those episodes or one of those things that I watched where I was like, no, I want to hear more stories about that and that and that.
You're
and I was like Googling things
questions.
like crazy. And when do I ever go on a deep dive? Never.
Well,
so
I'm
it was
so glad for this tip.
Yeah, hot tip.
Oh,
and the color one, so cool.
I have another hot tip. You got to try HelloFresh.
Well, come on now.
I can't believe
they're already using this.
I can't believe there are people that haven't done it yet.
Right. Why are you grocery shopping?
Why are you doing that when you could get all the ingredients delivered to your house with a recipe that will create a delicious dinner for you and your family? What are you doing? You could get miso, sesame, shrimp, and bacon ramen, which I highly recommend. Just all sorts of really wonderful recipes, and you can customize it based on whatever it is that you want. Like if you want 20-minute meals, or if you want, veggie or whatever, like quick and easy, they've got it for you. And they determined that it's 72% cheaper than a restaurant meal of the same quality. Yep. So come on. And it's healthy.
Oh, it does make me feel like I'm a fancy restaurant chef when I make them.
Yeah, and then, but like, it's still like home cooked, and you can sit down with your family and enjoy, but you don't have to go to the grocery store and deal with all that shenanigans.
We're talking like pork with a cherry glaze with like fingerling potatoes. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
people.
We're saving you time and money. What more do you want? Go to HelloFresh.com/BrainCandy16 and use code BrainCandy16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. That's HelloFresh.com/BrainCandy16 with code BrainCandy16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts.
Ooh, yummy.
Yummy.
Okay, so that was, let me see, what other fun information about Infrasound do I have? This I love because we love an animal story. They've done a lot of infrasound field studies in Africa using a custom-made Pachyderm 2 loudspeaker. I don't know what happened to the Pachyderm 1 loudspeaker. The article just mentioned Pachyderm 2, so I imagine this is the updated version. And that it emits sounds below 60 hertz, so it can record like elephants communicating, I guess, at a distance up to 125 yards away. And this one guy who's an elephant expert, also an adorable job title, William Langbauer, he determined that infrared sound waves can travel unimpeded by leaves, trees, and even air, all of which absorb high-frequency sound waves. So these infrasounds can pass through all this material that usually high-pitched sounds would get in the way of. And this makes it so elephants are able to, he proved that infrasound is an ideal way to communicate over long distances. And he estimates that elephants can hear infrasonic calls more than 2.5 miles away.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's bonkers.
Isn't that? So, like, elephants, I think there's another, I think it's called, like, Earth at Night or something. It's kind of like a Planet Earth that's all at nighttime. Have you seen this?
No, that's cool.
Oh, that one you have to see too. It's so
know.
good. They developed this new camera that makes it look like daytime even when you're recording it in the pitch black.
Okay, that's cool.
And so they do this shift. They show you it shift from nighttime to what the camera sees, so you can understand that this is showing it at night. And I remember the documentary saying that elephants have very poor vision. And I was thinking, like, they travel such long distances. What's the deal? And it's this infrasonic sound that they use to travel instead of even having to see.
All I can think of when you talk about, like, they make, like, night vision filming look like daytime. I mean, how long until that's on the challenge?
Oh.
Like,
sure.
So they can watch people banging in those, like...
100%.
Yeah.
Already, like, yeah.
Reality shows will need this technology very soon.
That is... For sure. Yeah.
For nighttime banging footage.
They're definitely going to use this good stuff for evil
right,
as soon as they get their little hands on it.
Damn it.
Golly.
But
hate it.
Do elephants do a lot of stuff at night?
I think so.
Huh.
A lot of animals do. It was thought, the show also said that we thought that cheetahs only hunted during the daytime, and it was through this documentary that they discovered that they do 1/3 of their hunting at night.
Wow.
And we thought that we had never witnessed them hunt at night, didn't even think they did that. If you were to ask, do cheetahs hunt at night, the answer would be like, nope. And now we're like, oh, actually, yes, 1/3 of their hunting.
Gosh.
What? That's a big difference.
As Sarah Rice would always say, we don't know anything.
We don't know anything.
It's true, though.
That is so true. Listen, there are 2 things I say. It's hard being a human, and hard being a person,
anything.
we don't know shit.
It's true.
That's what I've come up with.
That's all we know so far.
Yes. And the amazing book club pick this month that I'm reading is only further proving that, which is so exciting. If you haven't joined our book club, this is the month to do it, so you can read my book club pick, Project Hail Mary.
Why do you
Hail
love
Mary
it?
Project. Suze, it's so fucking good.
But isn't it fiction?
Yeah, but it's like, it's like science fiction, but all within the realm of possibilities.
Okay,
The author, what's his name? Andy Weir?
Yes.
Something like that?
Yes, it is.
I think that's it. Oh, look at me getting it right on the first
Right.
show without even looking it up. Wow. That never happens. He writes, well, when he's the author who wrote The Martian. And The Martian is one of the most scientifically accurate movies. Like, Neil deGrasse Tyson
guy's no slouch.
always... And this book, if you love science, this book is filled with it.
Okay.
And it's about I don't even want to give it away. It's about alien, like a connection to alien life, but not in the way that you would ever think. And it's so
my gosh,
freaking
I
good.
hope everyone loves it because Sarah's had a couple
I
disastrous situations
know.
where she's loved her pick and then everyone's like, yeah, it's garbage.
There's no way this one.
Okay, this one's going to redeem you, I think.
Like, if they don't make this into a movie, I'm going to be mad. And like, yesterday I was at my boo thing's house, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to take a shower." And the first thing I thought was, "Oh yes, I get to listen to my book on tape," because I'm listening to the audiobook. And does anybody still call it a book on tape? I don't think so, because it's not on tape. But anyway, I still call it that. So I was like, "Oh yes, I'm going to listen to that." And then as soon as he got into the shower, my mom called. I love my mom, but I was like, damn it!
Right.
I don't get to listen
that's
to my
when you
book.
know it's a good book.
That's when you know. When I was like dying to get on the road to drive,
To get to
sit
the
in
next
traffic,
page.
to listen to this book.
All right, that's pretty convincing.
It's so good. Yeah. So I love it. I think it's going to be a winner. And you know what? If nobody else likes it, they can can it.
Wow, she doesn't care.
Don't even care.
I think they'll like
There's
it
no
based
way.
on your description.
Yeah. I mean, so it's if you're a fan of Interstellar, you're going to love my book club pick.
I mean, it's probably true.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know if I'm a fan, though.
Okay. So that was a little bit about sound, but how about a different kind of sound?
Okay.
I have some fun information, or mostly like philosophical stuff to ask you.
Okay.
So how about the sound of someone's voice after they've died? So did you see the Anthony Bourdain documentary Roadrunner?
No, I never did because I was mad about it.
Okay, I'm mad about it too.
Okay.
So this is like,
Right,
it was this
because of the
project.
AI thing, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I'm mad
So
about-
I
that's why I
read
didn't
a
see it.
fascinating article. I think it was in the New Yorker. I'll have to check.
I think it was.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was called "What Happens to Our Data After We Die." Mm-hmm. And it posed a lot of questions.
Yeah, there's a lot of ethical questions, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So in this documentary, they took, I think it was something like 45 hours of his
Yes.
speech, him talking.
Yes.
And through that, they were able to, whoever the people making this documentary
Yeah.
were able to recreate his voice reading a letter that he wrote before his suicide.
And also, like, he narrated the whole film, and they used his voice to write a script that he may or may not have wanted to say.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about this?
I protested by not watching the film because the widow said, no, that's not okay.
Oh, the widow said no.
Yeah.
I hate it even more.
I
They
mean,
didn't mention that in this article.
At least the letter he actually wrote, so you know that he
Right.
did want to say that, but probably not to everyone. But yeah, I think that that's garbage.
It absolutely is garbage. And it really opened this whole, I don't know, Pandora's box of like, whose data is this anyway?
Okay.
So the amount of, also, what do you say, data or data?
I always think about that too. Can it be either one?
I think so.
I hope so.
I think so. I don't know. We're going to have to ask.
Wait,
Let's
let
do
me
a
listen
poll.
to it right now on the computer.
Yeah.
Data is what it says.
Data.
Yeah.
What did I say? Data. I said the wrong thing. Data. Okay. Whose data is that? That's a fun word. Data, 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 data. That's funny.
That's like my son calling my husband.
Yes, that's what it sounds like to me. I'm like, it sounds like you're saying data, and I don't know about that. Yeah. Okay. So the amount of data that humans create daily is mind blowing. Like, every minute, people enter more than 3.8 million Google searches. Every minute, we send more than 188 million emails and swipe through Tinder more than 1.4 million times.
Oh, man.
That's an insane amount of data.
It is.
And so now there's these philosophers. Some philosophers believe that I was reading this quote that said, personhood is no longer an equation of body and mind. It must also take into account the digital being.
Oh, wow. Like it's an independent thing. Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of true that the digital, because
right, like
so
I am
much
not
of
my
our
tweets.
Lives, right.
But,
ooh.
Right.
And there's a digital ethicist, yes, named Carl Oman, who was interviewed for this, and he says that it represents this big sociological shift because for centuries, only the rich and famous were thoroughly documented. And that made me even think. I'm like, oh my God, that is so true. Mm-hmm. We've only documented, and we do have rules around public figures and digital likeness. Mm-hmm. Like in California, there are like posthumous?
Oh, yeah.
How do you say that word?
Posthumous.
See, why are we having so much trouble posthumous?
Yeah.
Why am I having so much trouble pronouncing words today? There's like posthumous publicity rights that are different, but then they're different in every state. In California, it's up to 70 years after your death that you can't use their likeness or whatever. And as of December 2020, it's only 40 years post-mortem in New York.
Oh, wow.
That's like nothing.
No, right.
And so if a company does want to use a deceased person's, image sooner, then they have to get consent from the deceased estate. And then they have to like make a collaboration so it's mutually profitable, but not if it's been 40 years or 70 years, unless they do something like some artist put something. Like Robin Williams, when he died in 2014, after going to the same laundromat as me, he filed a deed that prevented people from using his image or any likeness of him for 25 years after his death on an extra layer of protection over California's law.
Good for him.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting thing.
I bet you have created a shit ton of data on your Best Fiends app.
So much. Uh-huh. They know that I use that. They could probably tie that. You could probably correlate, like, or do some graph about, like, my stress and then, like, time on, like,
stress levels correlating.
Yes, and then you, like, watch it go down as soon as I play that and, like, reset. Yep, I can see the graph in my mind.
Yes.
This data is there.
If you guys haven't played Best Fiends yet, it is a mobile puzzle game, but it is so much more than that. You can download and play it. If you have a few minutes or, heck, hours, it's like the perfect little puzzle game to lose yourself in because you're just having so much fun. And they have cute characters and you solve fun puzzles. And then the more you play, the more characters you collect. It's just, you know how it is. It's just a hoot and holler.
Hoot and holler.
And, we all need a break from doom scrolling and all kinds of like dystopian malaise. And so just go on Best Fiends, go through all the levels, of which there are thousands, and play as long as you want. You never get bored, trust me. Download Best Fiends free today on the App Store or Google Play. That's Friends without the R, Best Fiends. You will love it.
Love it.
Love it.
It's impossible not to. I got my mom hooked. It's great.
It's easy to be hooked. Yeah. So, okay,
totally
so you, after you die, then...
What do you want to happen to your data?
Well, one thing I do like, I was thinking about just how, like, when I'm gone, Lincoln will have all these episodes. I mean, I know that sounds silly, but I really do like that. Oh, my God,
that's amazing. Hi, Lincoln. Hi. In the future. I love you.
We love you, Link.
We love you so much. Well, and you're grown up to be such a great young man.
Even though our show is not topical and we try to do evergreen stuff, inevitably we've talked about some current events, like just peppered in, here's what's going on. And I just think it will be so fascinating for him to hear what we felt about that stuff in real time. I don't know. I don't think it's
I
cool.
didn't even think about this.
Like, that stuff's cool, but then as you pointed out, there's all these other yucky things.
Well, yeah. Well, we don't think about the yucky things.
I know, because it's so complicated. And even, like, I'm sure you've seen on Facebook, if you go into the settings, you can choose what happens to your account when you die. Yeah, they're like
that
a setting.
was one of the things I was going to ask. This article said that it's predicted, that same guy, Dr. Omen, calculated that if it keeps going the way it's going, like it's in continued existence for this long, that Facebook could have 4.9 billion deceased users by the century's end.
Wow.
4.9 billion dead people on Facebook. That the question that we need to ask is not, what do I do with my deceased father's Facebook profile? It's rather a matter of, what do we do with the Facebook profiles from the past generation?
Oh, my God.
Right? I don't even know what to do with that information in my brain.
Yeah, I mean, this has got to be sorted out.
Right. And now I feel like we're doing these things where it's like everybody who looks at this from like an ethics point of view is like, yeah, we should have a panel on this. We should talk about this. And then the businesses that are putting these things out are like, yeah, just do it, and then we'll have that panel later.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? What is the reason that they don't want to?
Money.
What, really?
I don't know. Ask fucking Zuckerberg over there.
Do you have any friends on any platform that are deceased? And by friends, I mean like you're still following them or whatever.
No.
Really? None?
Actually, that's not true. There is a snowboarder who I followed who passed away, and his wife took over the account, and it's really sweet. And I like that. Because,
okay, so she does like in memory type of thing?
Like, yes. And it's really it's really cute.
That's
and
nice.
And it makes me emotional. I'm like, oh.
Because it does feel weird when someone passes away to like unfollow them. But on the other hand, it's just sort of a strange thing to be following them when they are gone.
And Betty White.
Oh, you followed her?
Oh, of course I've been following her for a long time. And now her assistant took over.
Okay.
Person who was her personal assistant, and she posts a lot of stuff of Betty with animals.
That's
so
nice.
It's like
keeping
it's
up
really
her,
sweet.
Like the charitable stuff.
Yep. And she talks about when she took over the account. It's all very public and all very out in the open.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like somebody just kind of posing as her kind of thing.
Lord.
I like that they make it like
transparent.
Not like talking from beyond the grave kind of thing.
Right, because it seems a little creepy sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why this article was so fascinating to me, because
you should take over my account and then and then do the thing from the grave. Like totally be the ghost of Susie.
Totally.
That would be hilarious.
Same goes for me.
I would get so many followers.
This is kind of like when we decided what we were going to do with our bodies when we died, and we were like, okay, we set it on here. Now you're good. We have that.
Our will
now
and
we
testament.
Know. This is it. This is recorded. This is, I'm sure, legal and binding some way.
Okay, so you're going to be me as the ghost of Suze.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you're going to be me.
Oh my gosh. I'm worried about that.
Don't stress. I'm probably going to live for a long time.
You're way more appropriate than I am, though. You're like,
but you should get inappropriate on mine. Yeah. Yeah, I totally am. Okay. I feel like I am. I just have this feeling that I'm going to be old AF. Which is probably why I should just send it when I go snowboarding. I should just not give a fuck and just like go for it.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm not going to die. I've recently realized that I have all of, this is kind of like a little aside, but I have all of the skills that I need. Like I have the mechanics down. I know exactly what I'm doing out there. It's just getting over the fear of going fucking fast that I can't seem to get over. Yeah.
Is that what they say is sort of like the final step?
I think so. I mean, fear would be, is I see these little kids who started when they were young and they just have no fear because they just, it's like, I get the mechanics of it so well.
They have a tool, I'm sure they do, that measures your speed that you could wear?
Oh, yes.
Oh, let's get you one.
Yeah, I have this cool tracker. There's one I think it's called Slopes, where it tracks your GPS for the day. Oh, I'll tell you what idea. And then it tells you like how far you went, how many runs you did, all that kind of stuff.
How many turns?
Yeah.
On the powder.
So fun. So like just yesterday I did 13 6,439 vertical feet that
Come on.
snowboarded, and I did 12 lifts.
It's bonky.
Yeah, and the other day I got 14,130 vertical feet in. Again, 12 lifts.
I want to buy you the one that measures the speed. Can I get that for you?
Because
I really want to know how fast
you're
it is.
It's going to be slow.
I think it's the opposite. I think you're going faster than you realize, maybe.
Oh,
you don't think so?
Well, I hope so. Maybe. I'm going to see. I'm going to look into that. See what I think it's called Slopes. I'll see how I get that app and see. I know that this guy, this soft launch guy, he's gone like, no joke, like 60 plus miles an hour.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. Like, I think he said 70 once, too, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm like,
so
fuck.
Crashing
at 70 miles an hour.
Even if you're competent and confident, if you're going at that speed and something just sort of happens that is unexpected and you crash, then what? Is it RIP or what?
No, broken bones, maybe. Like, this guy broke his ankle at the beginning of season.
The soft launcher?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. Took about 2 or 3 weeks to heal that.
I don't like it.
Which was like crazy. I know, right? Mm-mm. But like if that, like a broken ankle, okay, I can manage that. Like, and I'm not going as fast as he is or doing the crazy things he is. He's like doing tricks and stuff like that. And the truth is, the faster you go, the less likely you are to fall.
Why? Why do you say these things?
Because you're cutting through the snow. When you fall, most of the time when you fall, you do what's called catching an edge, where you're the edge of the snowboard is digging into the snow at an angle that is going against the current forward motion.
Yeah.
So it's like when you
trip.
Do like you trip. And so it catches an edge and then you go forward and the board stops. So if you learn how to fall, that's it. There's a way to fall. They call it turtling. So you fall and you put your feet up, your knees, like you kind of like get like a turtle, like get into like a little ball. And then you just slide that like on the snow. And it's only when your board gets caught in the snow or like that gets tripped up and you keep moving. And that freaks me out a little bit.
And
then I see people the other day, dude, we both said it. The other day, there were so many people getting picked up by the frickin' ski patrol.
Yeah.
Like, I saw, no joke, 4 or 5 stretchers that they brought to people. One was a kid who was, oh my God, it was so scary. This kid who was just laying flat and like they brought out 2 different
what kind of kid? How old?
Probably 11 or 12.
Mm-mm.
I know. I was like, I'm not turning around. I can't look back because it looks like they don't want him to move his neck, and that's fucking terrifying. Oh, God, I can't. So it was like a day where I'm like, no, I'm going to go really, really slow today. I'm going to take it easy. It's like once I get that in my head that like, it's the fear. It's the...
Wait, okay. But I mean, there's a fine line between fear and sensible caution.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm naturally sensibly cautious, but I think it's also important to talk to like, this guy was telling me, his name's John, so I don't have to keep calling him like this guy. Jonathan, which he prefers. So he was saying, you kind of, the fear is there and it'll stay there, but you have to talk to it. You have to look at it, say, yep, I see you. Yes, I understand. This is a dangerous thing, but I have the skills and abilities to be able to do it in a safe and confident way. And thank you, brain, for showing me these kind of like possibilities. But I choose to not look at that reality. See, these are the kind of things he says to me. Don't you see why that's my human value?
Yeah, right. I do.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I do that. Okay, I can do that. He's like, you got it. You got it.
Yeah, because in the one time I've been skiing in my entire life, you know how I am with waiters, or servers, I should say. Like I want to know stories and I want to hear about what it's like being a server and like tell me funny things or whatever. So when I'm skiing, that's no different. I'm going to talk to Ski Patrol and get the scoop. And so I was talking to this guy. He's from Switzerland and he's the Ski Patrol where we were. And I was like, okay, let's hear it. Like, what are you seeing? And he's like, I can't tell you.
Oh!
Like, that's how bad it is.
That's how bad. Fuck that,
Like, and he
Susie.
wasn't in the silly way where it's like, if I tell you,
No,
I'd have
he's
to kill
serious.
you. He's like, you don't want to know. Like,
You don't want to know.
gruesome.
Because people fucking get, like, you're going, you hit a tree, oh, God, it's so it's appropriate to be terrified.
You know,
I'm shocked that they let people just get on chairlifts.
that's what Lincoln and I were saying. This seems
I'm always
unsafe.
like, this is so, and then you get on there with a bunch of these fucking 20-year-old guys who never want to put the bar down. And I'm like,
are you kidding
hold on to
me?
I am not kidding.
Like, that is not cool.
I know, they think I'm like, guys, can we put the bar down? I need some safety. I'm just always scared. I even got a little leash for my phone so I could take it out, and if I drop it, it has like a little
that's
cord.
smart. See, I like that.
See, every single thing I have has is attached to me because I'm like, I'm not dropping. I'm staying put. It is scary.
Yeah,
it's also awesome and fun. But
it's not. I don't like it. I don't.
And
like
then you're at like 0-degree weather. There's a lot. It's a big lesson in a lot can go wrong, but it's a big lesson in. In the Will Smith documentary, he said this. He says, his grandma once said, God puts the most amazing things right behind fear.
His grandma said that?
Yes.
My grandma said nothing good like that.
Oh, my grandma said some pretty good things like that.
So I agree with that quote. In a way.
That God puts the most exciting things right behind.
Because if you aren't challenged, you're probably not going to experience the full level of joy and whatever.
And fear can be different. Fear, it doesn't mean necessarily. It could be like taking a chance with
public speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I am going to apply for that job that I like. I'm not sure about, but
truly, because the scariest thing I've ever done was do stand-up comedy.
Oh, there you go.
And that's not life-threatening, usually.
Right.
Wait, I want to say, though, that when I was about to go skiing, I kept thinking about the fucking Natasha Richardson, that actress who died in a skiing accident. And it wasn't like what you're saying where she was going 5,000 miles an hour and hit a tree or something like Sonny Bono. She just took a lesson like I did, first-timer, and, fell and then, but she hit her head.
Yep.
But then she got up and she did the old like, oh, I'm okay. But she wasn't okay, like Bob Saget. I can't.
Well, also, I want to know, was she wearing a helmet? Was she
right. Good point.
Because I bought a helmet that's like got this new modern technology called MIPS, M-I-P-S, that's like multi-directional something, like protection system, like that is multi-directional impact protection system that is designed where it won't, like your brain won't move around if you get hit.
Yeah, I need the MIPS.
Yeah. I mean, like, seriously, I was, like, asking my brother, I was like, is it worth it to pay the extra $50? I'm like, why am I even sending this text message? Why am I even sending this text message? Right. I don't even need to ask this question. Sold. Like,
no further questions.
Never mind. He looks at me like, do you need to ask me that?
Yeah.
No,
you gotta get the
Dumb
MIPS.
question. I'm good.
Yeah.
Get the MIPS. Totally worth it.
Get the MIPS.
Yep. Oh,
but
gosh.
Yeah, most things that people are scared of are not, death-defying.
Right.
And on the other side of it is just ecstasy.
Yes.
Truly.
This is more reason to watch that Will Smith documentary.
I will. You sold me. This is
it.
not like Interstellar at all. I
can't wait for you to watch it, and then I can't wait for you to then say, "Oh my gosh, Adam Lincoln and we all loved it."
Well, and then after last week's show, you decided you were going to watch Downfall, and I got a text it must have been in the middle of the night, but then
Susie,
I got it in the
morning.
morning.
Was in the middle of the night.
And
I didn't even care. I was like, I'm going to interrupt her at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Sarah goes, I am never flying in a Boeing aircraft again. I'm like, okay, I guess she's not flying.
All caps. Yeah.
Right.
I figured I didn't even need to tell you what I was watching for you to be able to fill the blanks on that one.
Because that was that.
Jesus Christ, Suze.
Yeah.
You weren't kidding.
I know. Just grieve, man.
I mean, I watched that whole documentary with my jaw agape.
Yes. And I don't know how people get to the point where they don't care if it makes them money.
Oh,
I don't
Agreed.
understand that.
Agreed.
I don't get it because...
I don't either. And they really did have a good thing going.
Yeah, right? And people were like, we were proud to work at Boeing.
People were proud to work there.
Yeah. But then they're like, but
so
we could make
depressing.
$3 more if we just...
Fuck that. And all the people who were like, yeah, we never checked that. Yeah, there was a fucking ladder in the engine room that we left in there or whatever.
Your documentary recommendations are more uplifting, which I appreciate.
Well, you know, gotta balance this thing out.
Should we wind it down?
Let's wind it down.
Okay.
We learned some fun things. We learned that elephants can make sounds that can be heard over 2.5 miles away.
Wonder what they're saying to each other. Do you think it's just logistics? Like, hey, don't go to this pond or whatever?
Maybe. And maybe also, but I wouldn't put it, they're very social. So I think in the same way that we know that whales and dolphins gossip, I feel like elephants would be gossipy.
That is so
true. And they never
true.
forget.
They never forget.
They're like, that is not what she said to me.
Yeah, right. Well, I keep hearing about the darn Happy the elephant in Brooklyn that you talked about a long time ago on the show, and how
What's happening?
That lawsuit is still, in the works, and they're still debating, is an elephant a person, and does it have the rights, to a decent life?
In Florida, it does.
Of all places.
I know. Isn't that freaking weird?
So it's almost like elephants have more rights in
Florida.
Florida than, gay kids. I'm just saying.
You are right. Oh, God, that is, I couldn't even, I read that information today. And I was
we won't go there.
Fuck, I'm so fucking sad. But yeah, it's getting me wound up, not wound down.
The elephant thing, I mean, that's why when they have us riding them, like you were riding them in Thailand, it's not okay.
It's not okay. We should not be doing that to animals.
No.
Ugh. They're
gossiping.
Yes.
They don't want that.
Right, they don't. Leave them alone.
And
we heard about Eric Weinmeier, who blind traveled to some amazing locations and is doing super cool, adventurous stuff, all while teaching people how to feel sound.
That's so cool.
Does
he say that, like, you could kind of learn even if you're a seeing person?
Yes. He taught Will Smith to do it in the episode.
I want to do
it.
Do
you feel that? Yes. Oh, it gives me goosebumps. He said, yeah, he shows Will Smith. He goes, okay, now, I can't remember how he does. He says, like, close your eyes, and he was able to feel the things and then, like, you hear, there's one part where this guy, Eric, is like, oh, I'm feeling something that feels like this and this and this, but Will Smith and the other guy don't feel it, and the guy, this volcanologist goes, well, I know what you're saying is true. I believe what you're saying because my meter is reading exactly what you're saying.
And it might be a case that, like, we already feel it, but we don't know that that's what we're feeling.
We're not tuned in. Right.
Yeah, we got to dial in.
So many goosebumps. It's raising our awareness, and that helps you stay present, which is what keeps you in the right, like, brain place and calm and all this good stuff. It's all connected.
It's all connected.
Freaking love it.
But don't go dying, or we got to see, we got to deal with your ghost on Instagram.
Right, and I gotta become Susie when she dies.
Sarah,
I'm not gonna be that funny.
Sarah
they're gonna know. They're gonna be like,
she doesn't like the pressure of captions, so this could get ugly.
Oh, this could be very.
Do just like emoji captions.
You know what is so funny? As soon as I said I gotta pretend to be Susie, this like wave of fear came over me of like. Yeah, fear, anxiety of like, oh shit, what am I going to write in those captions?
Just post a
that
picture.
was the first thought I had, and you were like, oh, she's scared of captions. Like, man, she knows me well.
Do a picture, whatever, and then just the caption, just the ghost emoji every time. That's funny. Do that.
That would be great. Good. We have a plan.
Okay,
this is wonderful.
So I can go down now.
Yeah. Woo.
I guess we whatever. You guys know what we talked about.
So much good stuff. Sound, and dead stuff.
Did you subscribe and give us 5-star review? You can do that on Spotify now too. You can leave us a review on Spotify.
We need some reviews on Spotify. Come on now.
Yes. Maybe we could read a couple on the air because we want to encourage
I love doing that. And you guys are so funny.
Yeah, right. They get it.
Our listeners are freaking hilarious.
They're smart and funny. They get the joke.
Yes. Yeah, they do.
We'll see you next time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.